Have you ever found yourself struggling to make ends meet, despite working hard and earning a decent income? Have you ever wondered why your bank account never seems to grow, no matter how much you save? If so, you may be falling into common financial traps that many middle-class individuals face. But don't worry, in this discussion, we'll be exploring some of the most common money traps that middle-class individuals fall into, and practical tips and strategies that you can use to avoid them. So let's get started. Living beyond your means. Many are living comfortable today but are in debt, and many are still living paycheck to paycheck. Living beyond your means is a common financial trap that can have serious consequences. When you spend more than you earn, you create a cycle of debt and financial stress that can be difficult to break. Living paycheck to paycheck can make you vulnerable to unexpected expenses, such as car repairs or medical bills, that can push you further into debt and make it even harder to make ends meet. One way to avoid this is to create a budget and stick to it. A budget is a plan for how you will spend your money each month. It can help you track your expenses, identify areas where you can cut back, and prioritize your spending. By setting realistic goals for your spending and saving, you can avoid overspending and ensure that you have enough money to cover your essential expenses. Another important strategy is to prioritize your expenses. Make sure that you're paying for the things that are most important to you, such as housing, utilities, food, and healthcare, before spending money on non-essential items like entertainment or dining out. You may also want to consider ways to reduce your expenses, such as cutting back on subscription services or shopping at discount stores. Next up, it's important to avoid lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation occurs when you increase your spending as your income goes up. This can lead to a cycle of spending and debt that can be difficult to break. Instead, consider putting any extra money towards paying off debt or saving for the future. Lastly, this mistake is the result of not thinking long-term with your money. If you think long-term, you build your savings, you cut everything you don't need. From there, you can successfully invest and eventually change your financial state. Now, before we head on to our next point, just a quick detour. Now, my channel is all about passive income and dividend investing in stocks, and one platform that helped my investing journey is simply Wall Street. Now, I'm not just advertising this platform because they pay me or anything. It is because I use it every day. They have tons of data available for you, and the way they present it is so clear and easy to understand. They give graphs, comparisons, and explanations wherein a child could understand. They also give you updates on the stocks in your watch list, from earnings release, dividends, insider buying or selling, and when the stock falls below your computed buy price. And speaking of buy price, they also have a computation for you. And the best part of it, they have two ways on how they computed it, from discounted cash flow or from analysts themselves. So if you don't know how to compute it, this will definitely help you out. But a warning, only use this as a guide. You still have to do your research well to identify if the stock is really undervalued or not. And there's more, they also have a portfolio tracker that lets you assess the health of your portfolio. So if you want to try it out, they offer their basic plan forever free, and if you do sign up using my link, you get a 14-day free trial of all their platform's features. And not only that, if you avail their paid plan using my link, you can get up to 40% discount. So what are you waiting for? Try out simply Wall Street. Second, comparing yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others can become a middle-class money trap in several ways. First and foremost, when you constantly compare your financial situation to others, you may feel pressure to keep up with your spending habits, even if you can't afford it. This can lead to overspending and a cycle of debt that can be difficult to break. Second, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy or inferiority, which may cost you on things like luxury goods or experiences in an attempt to keep up with them. This can create a false sense of financial security and make it harder to achieve long-term financial goals. Third, it's harder to make smart financial decisions if you're constantly comparing yourself. You may be more likely to make impulsive purchases or take on unnecessary debt in an effort to keep up with their lifestyle. It won't do good for you. You will never be able to get ahead because you will always want what the other person has. Don't try to impress. To avoid falling into this trap, it's important to focus on your own financial goals and priorities. Focus on building a solid financial foundation for yourself and your family. This may involve setting a budget, paying off debt, and saving for emergencies in the future. Remember that everyone's financial situation is unique, and it's important to make financial decisions that are right for you and your family rather than trying to keep up with others. Accumulating high-interest debt. When you use credit cards or loans, you borrow money that you need to pay back with interest. The longer it takes to pay back the debt, the more interest you'll owe. which can make the debt grow and become more challenging to pay off. Credit cards in particular can be a trap because of the convenience they offer. You can make purchases now and worry about paying for them later. However, if you don't pay off the full balance of your credit card each month, you'll start accruing interest on the unpaid balance, which can add up quickly. The interest rate on credit cards is often very high, which means you'll end up paying a lot more than the original price. Loans are another type of high-interest debt that can be problematic. These are usually from small amounts of money and come with very high interest rates. If you can't pay the loan back quickly, you may end up rolling it over and accumulating even more interest. To avoid this trap, it's important to only use credit cards or take out loans when necessary and to pay them off as soon as possible. If you do use a credit card, try to pay off the balance each month to avoid interest charges. If you can't pay off the balance in full, try to pay the minimum to reduce the interest you'll owe. Remember, we don't want compounding interest working against us. Failure to plan ahead. Failure to plan ahead is a common middle-class money trap that can lead to financial instability and setbacks. You can be off guard by unexpected expenses such as car repairs, medical bills, or job loss, which can quickly deplete your savings and leave you vulnerable to debt. One way to avoid this trap is to create a financial plan that takes into account your long-term goals and priorities. This may involve setting a budget, creating an emergency fund, and saving for major expenses like home or a child's education. By planning ahead and setting goals, you can ensure that you're making smart financial decisions that will benefit you and your family in the long run. Another important strategy is to regularly review and adjust your financial plan as your circumstances change. Life is unpredictable, and your financial situation may change due to factors like job loss, illness, or a change in family circumstances. Also, avoid getting sidetracked by short-term distractions and instant gratification. This may mean saying no to impulse purchases or focusing on paying off debt before taking on new expenses. To avoid this trap, create a financial plan, review and adjust your plan as needed, and prioritize your long-term financial goals. Lastly, neglecting retirement savings. Neglecting retirement savings is a common middle-class money trap that can have serious consequences in the long run. Many people put off saving for retirement because they have other expenses to worry about, like paying off debt or covering day-to-day expenses. However, failing to prioritize retirement savings can leave you with a significant shortfall later in life. One way to avoid this trap is to start saving for retirement as early as possible. Even small contributions can add up over time, thanks to the power of compounding. This means that the earlier you start saving, the more time your money has to grow. Many employers nowadays offer matching contributions to their employees' retirement accounts, which can be a valuable benefit that can significantly boost your retirement savings. Or you can voluntarily open a retirement account. You can also put in an investment in stocks, or here in the Philippines, open an MP2 savings account, which if you still haven't watched my video about it, there's a link below. You can watch it after. But still do your research in what way will work for you. It is so important to educate yourself about personal finance. This may involve seeking out resources like financial advisors, books, or online resources to help you make the best decisions for your situation, or supplement your learnings by watching my videos. Anyway, by developing healthy financial habits, taking control of your finances, and stay focused on your goals and priorities while thinking long-term, you can achieve greater financial stability and security and avoid these middle-class money traps. So with that, this ends this video for today. I hope you've learned something, and if you did and still haven't clicked the like button, then do so before leaving. Thank you and see you in the next video.